Check it out. Everybody's here. I know him, and I know him, and that feller, and her, and oh, I don't know him. Hey, why don't you take a look for yourself so you can get to know him too?
Bernie is a notorious Piston Cup photographer, known for sacrificing anything, including his own body, to get a great shot. In last year's No Grime 500, he was mid-shot when he was T-boned by an untamed racer, Buck Schooner. It cost Bernie 2.5 months in the body shop, but scored him an incredible shot of Chick Hicks and the August cover of Runner Up Monthly. Mia and Tia haven't missed a race in over a year, but they'd be the first to tell you they're not race fans, they're Lightning McQueen fans. Painted in his signature red and covered in McQueen stickers, the girls scream like crazy when McQueen races. They scream like crazy when he poses for photos, and they scream like crazy all the way home just thinking about him. McQueen's many daydreams of success have him seeing double, as Dinoco Blues not only in his future, but also in the future of his two biggest fans, Mia and Tia. After all, they follow him wherever he's headed, and in his mind, he's headed for the biggest sponsorship around. Lightning McQueen's dreams of success are humble, really. Well, maybe at first. But gone unchecked, the houses get bigger, the fame more powerful, and the lifestyle flashier. In his vision of the future, everything is gold-plated. His rims, his teeth, and of course, his favorite fans. With Lightning McQueen missing in action, his two biggest fans, Mia and Tia, were devastated. And that is when Chick Hicks swooped in to console them, loading them up with his own merchandise and a free Hostile Takeover Bank-sponsored paint job. Mia and Tia begrudgingly accepted the offer, not because they're Chick Hicks fans, but because the color green complemented their eyes. Now that Flo's V8 Cafe is the watering hole for the who's who of the racing circuit, Mia and Tia have moved to town and quickly become Flo's most popular waitresses. After all, what better way to be close to their hero, Lightning McQueen? Brian thought it would be fun to sell antenna balls at the racetrack for a summer. The problem is that summer was 10 years ago. He had hoped to start seriously pursuing his singing career in September, but one thing led to another and his part-time job became his career. Brian does enjoy the excitement of the racetrack though, and sometimes when he's shouting out, "Get your antenna balls here," over the roaring crowds, he likes to imagine he's belting out a classic show tune over the cheers of his adoring fans. Barry loves Dinoco oil. He starts his day off with Dinoco Extreme Octane to give him that extra kick in the bumper, and then it's gallon after gallon of Dinoco Regular to keep him running smoothly all day. However, his wife thinks it's about time Barry switched to Dinoco Light. Bud's a classy rig and longtime Piston Cup loyalist who's got a funny anecdote for every racer on the track. For just a few liters of Dinoco oil, he'll probably spill a secret or two. Larry and RM are the best of friends. These two can usually be found raising Cain and taking names on Redneck Hill. But despite their rowdy nature, they are true Southern gentlemen and dead serious when it comes to racing. They know the stats on every team, which is useful since they've always got a bet riding on who will be the next Piston Cup champion. Stacy works for Leakless Adult Drip Pans. She's a propane-powered forklift who lives in the city and listens to country. She's no Guido, but she's pretty quick with a tire change. As a youngster, Dex dreamed of being a real race car. A 4-cylinder compact pickup isn't exactly designed for the racetrack, but Dex found a way to put himself in the middle of his favorite sport. He climbed the ranks from selling pennant flags in the stands to top flagman on the circuit. His unorthodox caution flag pattern is a thing of beauty, and if it weren't for Dex, the races would never start, and they'd never end. Albert Hinkey is McQueen's biggest fan. Known as the buffet master among friends, Al can guzzle 2 gas stations worth of fuel in one sitting. To match his size, Al is the biggest and best friend one can ever have. Charlie Checker is the Piston Cup official pace car. Charlie wears his amber lights with pride. He's no horsepower champ, but he doesn't mind. After all, he's always in the lead and nobody passes him. And that is exactly how he likes it. As the official tow rig of the Piston Cup circuit, Tow has pulled his share of battered, weeping champions off the track. He's seen the top racers in their lowest moments, but he always respects their privacy. When you're cornered by a mob of fierce paparazzi, there's none better to call than Marion clutches McKay. A 20-year service veteran whose time was spent largely as an armored troop carrier, Marion traded in his bulletproof glass to pursue his dream of becoming a Motor Speedway of the South security team leader. He loves nothing better than locking grills with nosy camera sidecars and personally showing them the exit. Richard left his wealthy, pampered life in Derbyshire, England, to make his way in the States as a security officer. You'd never know how reserved and proper he once was when you hear him barking orders and shoving zealous race fans out of the gate. Hauser Boon was the first photographer to coin the now famous phrase, "show us the bolt." He called it out last season at a press event to Lightning McQueen, who actually turned right towards him and flashed his $1 million grill. It was indeed a proud moment for Mr. Boon. If he'd had the forethought to trademark the phrase, he could have retired 20 years early.